this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovation. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Oh yes. Please share, like, and do what you like right here on King Simon Presents. We're going to have a good time tonight, of course, with the man who wrote Broke Doesn't Mean Broke. Also, he wrote the Emerald Tablets, the compendium of the Emerald Tablets, a beginner's guide. We're going to have him on tonight, so you know what it is. He calls himself the galactic agent for the freedom of humans on this planet. Oh, yeah, we're going to have a good time tonight with the one, the only Billy Carson in the building. And your brother King Simon is getting ready to come in. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Hope everything is well with you. Brooklyn, New York in the building. I got my MIB glasses. That's right, Men in Black. Or Men is Black. Oh, yeah, we're going to have a good time. Of course, Empress Aisha Moore will be coming on probably a little later, but we're going to have a good time. We're doing a detoxing for this week. Like I told people that this week I actually stopped doing sessions for this whole week. Do my whole detox and healing and all that good stuff. Tonight's drink brought to you by Tropical Fusion, and it's called Agua with Lemon. It's called Agua with Lemon. That's what it's called. That's right. It's called Agua with Lemon. That's right. I'm drinking water and lime juice. Actually, it's lime. It's actually lime, to tell you the truth. You remember what Beanie Man used to say? I'm drinking rum and Red Bull. Now I can't drink that. That will kill me. So I'm drinking water and lime juice. That's what I drink today. Water and lime juice. Yeah. How y'all feeling out there? Tell me where you're calling from, where you're hitting me from, where y'all at. Of course, always, please thumb up the video. Please like, thumb up, and share the video, because tonight we got Billy Carson, man. Tonight we got Billy Carson. And if you don't have this book, Woke Doesn't Mean Broke, then you are a problem in your life. If you don't have this book, the compendium of the Emerald Tablets, then you have a problem in your life. As a matter of fact, if you don't have any of my books, stop playing. If you don't have any of my books, that is a problem tonight. That is a problem. And you know you can get that by going to my link tree. Go into my link tree. You can definitely get that. Okay, go into my link tree. Let me put that up there just in case y'all want to get my books. Here it is. Bang. There's my link tree. Hit me up at Linktree. Of course, linktr.ee/King Simon the Numerovator. All my books. No promotion is bad promotion. Of course, numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and the Numerovation Nation. Yeah. All right. And of course, one of our new sponsors, one of our newest sponsors is in the building. We want to make sure we show them some love and respect for just taking the time out to spend some money, because remember, advertisement doesn't cost, it pays, because this is consistent. Etsy, go to etsy.com/shop. That's right, etsy.com/the shop. You know what I'm saying? And hit us up. I'm trying to tell you, family, and make sure everything is going well. Hold on one second. Let me just do something for Billy. Billy want me to do something real quick. Hold on. Just give me a second, family. Give me a second real quick. Let me do something real quick for Billy. I think he said forward the link again. Let me make sure. Be right back. All right, so he's in the house, so I don't know why he asked me to forward the link. All right. See, stay focused, brother. We're gonna be with you in a few seconds. Back to some of the commercial breaks before we bring on Billy and bring on Aisha Moore. We're gonna get ready. Yes, here it is. Okay. Of course, don't forget, if you want to get Aisha stuff, make sure you go to 1,000,000_adornments. That's 1,000,000_adornments. Lloyd Strayhorn, boom, there it is. Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Real estate consultant. You can call her, text her at 347-866-1153. Regular number, and also through WhatsApp. You hit her up. Want to do my class, the holistic numerovation? You know that we got the course, we're popping. You know what it is. We're gonna start it off. I'm gonna send it out. Oh, mine is extraordinary. It's not just astronumerology. It's not just numerology. It's holistic numerovation. Okay, big up to Dr. MJ, because this is her site right here, pedalwise.com. We got 10% off with this discount code. That's 1221. That's King 2021. Make sure you come to that webpage for all the beautiful stuff. If you want to do a numerovation session with me, text me. Full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. And please, if you live outside the United States, please use WhatsApp. Please use WhatsApp. Please use WhatsApp. If you live outside of the United States, and those that are outside of the United States, you can also use PayPal. That's King Simon at PayPal, of course. All right. We got it. Oh, yeah. Ready to get on in and do what we got to do? One last thing, of course. We always got a content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guests, speakers, or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. All right, I'm ready to come back in because everybody seems to be backstage. Oh, yeah. Woo! I'm having a good time tonight. I hope y'all are feeling good. Yeah, I got on my men in black glasses. Because I know who I got coming in. Men in black. Oh, because we are men who are black. That's right. Oh, I see he threw on here. Stop playing. My brother. Okay, so before we bring on our brother, I got to read his accolades because his accolades are strong. However, I do see Empress Aisha Moore. I think she's ready. So, I think she's ready. So let's make sure we bring on my co-host first before I bring on these ring the accolades. Let's welcome right here on King Simon Present, the co-host of KSP, King Simon Present and King Simon Productions. Let's give a round of applause to Empress Aisha Moore. They see now I'm telling my age with that song, you know. Telling my age. I know Billy back there laughing like, what the hell? Yeah, man, I'm telling my age, boy. Me and Billy around the same in the age range, so he know that song, you know. So Aisha, what's up, Empress Aisha Moore? What's up, girl? How you doing?
How are you?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm waiting for my brother to come on and go have a good time, man. I got my men in black glasses, so I had to put on my men in black glasses because I know.
You want to go get me some men in black glasses? I got me some.
Oh yeah. Because you know he's a galactic agent for the freedom of humans on this planet. So I gotta make sure, like the men in black say they are. They the same way, you know. So I gotta make sure. But before we bring on, let me read part of his website that I have here because. This brother got a lot of accolades, and y'all could go to forbiddenknowledge.com if you want to read everything. But I want to make sure that I give the brother his due. You know what I'm saying? You got to give a man his due before they transition. And this brother has been doing great work. He's doing great work in the community. And I love what he's doing. I respect what he's doing. He's been doing it for a long time. But Billy CARSON is the founder and CEO of Forbidden Knowledge, Inc., and the best-selling author of the Compendium of the Emerald Tablets and Woke Doesn't Mean Broke. Mr. Carson is also the founder and CEO of Forbidden Knowledge TV, a new conscious streaming TV network, and is an expert host on Deep Space, a new original streaming series by Gaia. This series explores the secret space program, revealing extraordinary technologies and their potential origin. Mr. Carson also served as an expert host on Gaia's original series, Ancient Civilizations, in which a team of renowned scholars deciphers the riddles of our origins and pieces together our forgotten history, moments, and the text around the world. And without further ado, I want to welcome right here on King Simon Presents for the first time, our brother, your brother, the one, the only, Billy Johnson.
Thank you, man. I had to put on my dog voice because you came out correct.
Exactly, sir. How you been, my brother?
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. A lot of great stuff going on. I mean, besides all the workshops that I've done and the ones coming up, just a lot of great new TV shows, new shows coming on History Channel, new shows coming on Discovery Channel, new shows coming on Forbidden Knowledge TV, new shows on Gaia. And I'm currently right now ghostwriting a couple of TV shows that kind of just fell in my lap recently. So I'm doing a lot of work, man. I'm burning the candle at both ends right now.
Hey, you born under the number 4. That's what 4s do. Burn them candles. That's the number of hard work. Believe me, I know that.
Man, I know. If anybody knows, you do.
And you know, I want to thank you, brother. And let me tell people, like I said on Brother Richard's platform one time, I said this brother is the real deal. He invited me to his house, invited me and the Dr. MJ to his house, and a multi-million-dollar house. And I tell people, yo, the security there was tight. They might as well have just strip searched me and did a cavity check before I came in. Because they was tight. They were tight. And they had to call in, they had to stop us and all kinds of MIB stuff.
Wow.
I'm joking, but no, it's a very affluent neighborhood in Florida. I won't say which neighborhood it is, all right. But the brother invited me to his beautiful house, water purification throughout the whole house, his meditation. He actually gave me a tour, and I got to give that a round of applause because I've been in many million years house, but they don't just give you a tour like that. So, they just don't do it. And but at least you can see from what I gotta say, one of them did in Georgia. I gotta give respect to that person who did in Georgia. Beautiful place, took me around the house and all that. Because they can trust me, I'm respected. I'm a very respected brother, and I respect all of y'all, what y'all doing, because I'm a spiritual trillionaire myself. So I know what that is. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's a new word now. Spiritual trillionaire.
I love it.
But I want to introduce you to Aisha Moore, Empress Aisha Moore. That's Billy Carson, our brother.
Nice
Greetings, Billy Carson. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
It's a
Pleasure's
pleasure to
all
meet
mine.
you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I can't believe you wrote the Emerald Tablet. I'm just so happy.
Thank you.
So happy.
Yes. He wrote the compendium of the Emerald Tablets. You know what I'm saying? He wrote the compendium.
Oh.
Before we go there, we was talking about this quote. I want to shout this quote out because it is a powerful quote that I put on the flyer also. And of course, the quote says, "The universe has a habit of picking nobody and making them somebody without consulting anybody." Powerful quote, brother.
Yeah.
Powerful quote. And let's start off with there, brother, because you've been on a journey. And you would consider yourself back in the day, you didn't have that much. You went through certain things in your life, and picking nobody and turning them into somebody without consulting anybody. Right. Please explain that and then add your life into this whole thing, please.
You know, the universe is really an amazing, energetic space. And so the universe itself, it's really one level of one giant consciousness, and it's got many levels of entities that it inhabits, and we just happen to be individually one of those entities that we are slightly attuned to a different frequency. So the universe may be broadcasting out from one source, to 99.1, 99.2, 99.3, just like a radio station. I'm 0.1, you're 0.2, she's 0.3. And so during this process, what the universe is doing, it's trying to understand itself subjectively from different perspectives and as different people, as different animals, as different entities, even as stones, rocks, even as a blade of grass. It's trying to gain an understanding. And so in particular situations, for whatever reason, the universe will pick different living things that it uses or manipulates time through to gather additional streams of knowledge, wisdom, and information from the third dimensional perspective. And so, you know, some people will call it being chosen or being a blessing, whatever you want to call it. But I just feel like my mission has been put a little bit higher than just the average person. I think that my purpose here has been really very clearly identified, and I'm really on a very, very serious mission to help uplift humanity. A lot of people will agree with a lot of things I say, and a lot of people may not agree with a lot of things that I say, and that's okay. Overall, at the end of the day, I'm trying my best to do what I feel my mission is, which is to raise the level of consciousness on this planet. And so where I came from is literally underneath the ghetto. I came from underneath the ghetto. I mean, I'm talking about eating Cairo syrup and toast. I don't know if you know what Cairo syrup is, but it's this clear syrup that comes in a jar.
Yes.
Or we would get the 50 cents matzo crackers, which are
yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So we would have stacks and stacks of matzo crackers because it's a cheap meal, and you can pour the syrup on that if you wanted a little extra flavor. You know, I mean, so this is what I'm talking about. Meager beginnings, holes in my shoes, holes in my crotch in my pants because I was growing so fast. You know, my pants the crotches kept ripping open, the butts kept splitting. And my parents couldn't keep up with my growth, the spurts. So I would have to stitch them back myself. I would dye my pants. I would bleach them first, and then I would put the 69-cent Rich dye and dye them different colors so that it looked like I had multiple pairs of pants to wear to school. And, you know, so things like that, just to get by without getting picked on or getting harassed and things like that. You know, and it just one day culminated when I realized if I'm going to get out of this situation, it just came to me. I got to get myself out. And there's nobody can save me. I was fortunate to realize that at a very young age. Like, there's nobody that out there, people I see people praying to and all this stuff. There's nobody coming. I got to do it myself. And so my first foray into business was selling my toys. I went door to door selling toys. I said, I don't need toys anymore. Let me start selling these toys. Broken toys, working toys. It didn't matter, right? Just give me, ma'am, sir, I'm just trying to raise a couple dollars. Can you please? Whatever you want, I'm selling my toys. Sold all my toys. And I realized when I had that money, I took a famous picture of me holding the money. I was like, this is it. The key to saving myself is to take action. And then I began to do that over and over again in many other different businesses, starting from 12 all the way to now. And fortunately, a lot of them have worked out, you know, in a positive manner for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm. And you know, and that's a powerful thing because you've had a journey, man. You've even played ball too, man. It's something, man. Yeah, playing ball.
I've done everything. I've lived the life of 10 men.
Yeah, you know, and I remember being at one of your workshops. That's when I first not the first time I met you. The first time I met you was Brother Rich's when I emceed that part with Brother Rich. Yeah. But coming to your workshop in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, about 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And you had talked about playing ball and doing all of that and stuff that you went through and all that in Queens, because you're from Queens, New York, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Big up the Queens.
Yeah.
And you know, and then you left Queens. And what year did you leave Queens?
1977.
Wow.
Became the 1977, yeah.
Okay, and you never came back again.
We came back to visit my grandmother who still lived there for a little while in Cambria Heights, so I think it was 221st Street.
Yes.
And so we would come back every couple of summers, and you know, because it was easier for my parents to let me go up there with them so that they can buy school clothes for us and things like that. So every 2 years we would go up there and get a couple of shirts, a couple of pairs of pants, eat some good home cooked meals, before coming back to Miami. And so yeah, that was an interesting experience. I got a chance to go back there when I did the big workshop with Brother Rich that time in Brooklyn. I got a chance to get a ride all the way back there to that house. I used to stand in the front yard and take a photo in front of that house where it kind of really all began.
Wow.
You know, in that house is where I started reading books. My dad had me doing book reports at the age of 1. And that's really why I dedicated the Woke Doesn't Mean Broke book to my father.
Yes, I see that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was really strict, and, you know, his ideas were very strange on how to be a parent. He didn't really have much to work with because his dad left the house and he was, I think, 4, said he was going to get a pack of cigarettes, never came back. And then his mom died when he was 16. Wow. So he pretty much raised himself. He didn't have, you know, he had no idea what he was doing. He was just feeling his way through. But he saw that I had a high retention, a good memory, and I was already reading children's books at 10 months. I was walking at 10 months. I was kind of big already. I was a 10.5-pound baby, so I had a head start.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
But when I turned 1, I got my first novel, and it was called The Sea Wolf by Jack London. Great book.
Yes, I remember that book. Yes.
You know, interesting. You know, maybe I don't know. Could have been 100-something pages.
Yeah, it wasn't that thick.
Yeah, but he recognized that in me, so he started making me do book reports. He would take me to these bars that he hang out in Queens and put me on the bar countertop and make me start reciting quotes from the Bible and the Lord's Prayer, the 23rd Psalm, all this crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, but that really fueled me, like, because he had me reading so much and studying so much from an early age, it just became part of my natural life, you know? So by the time I was even getting ready to graduate, I probably had already gone through 400 or 500 books myself, you know?
Right.
Since then, I've read over 1,000 books, cylinder scrolls, scriptures, papyruses, and ancient texts from all around the world.
Mm-hmm. And you know, Billy, before I pass on to the next question with Empress Aisha, you know, you've been on ancient civilizations. You're on Gaia. I mean, and a lot of people, I heard one guy called you a quote unquote super pseudo, right? This is what they like to say, you know, and I tell people all the time, be careful of that word pseudo, because anything that Europeans didn't understand, what they would call it pseudo. Anything Greeks understood, they would call it pseudo because they didn't understand it. Mm-hmm. You know, getting on these channels and having the amount of people that listens to you and follows you, and being one of the Black men that I heard on Coast to Coast when I was just listening, you know, in my house and checking out, you know, how did you get there to want to study that stuff, even to the point of writing this book here? Excellent book, of course, one of the excellent compendium of the Emerald Tablets. You know, how did you get involved with ancient aliens and wanting to get into that type of knowledge?
I tell you, real simple. When we came to Florida in 1977, I was playing out in my backyard. And back then, there's no cable TV, no cell phones, pagers, no 24-hour cartoon networks. Didn't exist. We had 4 channels on TV, and you're lucky if you could tune into them because we had the rabbit ear antenna. So half the time you couldn't even get a signal. But so I was outside playing like most normal kids I think today need to do. And I was watching the airplanes go across the horizon in my backyard. It really amazed me because the planes were coming from the Opelika airport. So they'd go over very, very slow, even though I know in my brain that they had to be moving fast to stay in the sky. So it really intrigued me. So I'd watch them go over. And I was out there one day watching the planes, and this object came over. It wasn't an airplane. It cleared the horizon in seconds, not minutes. Then it came back and it stopped completely silent, not that far above me, and then it went out just as fast away in the blink of an eye, the way it came in. It didn't have a cockpit, tail fin, fuselage, wings. And I knew right away what I saw was not an airplane, and nobody could tell me what I saw. So the next day I went to Rainbow Park Elementary, and I took down all the encyclopedias on aerospace, and I started researching that exact day. That next day began my soiree into trying to find out what type of technology could this have been, which I obviously could not find it. I looked at the STS Super Transport, I looked at swept wing, delta wing, I looked at ballistic missiles tests from launching from submarines, and I looked at everything, and I could not find what I saw, not even close. And so I knew right away that I saw something special. And so it became like a lifelong quest and journey to figure out what the heck that was. So that led me down the rabbit hole of researching, space, astrophysics, space travel, time travel, and all these other aspects to try to figure out what could it have been that I saw? And eventually it led me into ancient civilizations and space anomalies. And then being able to make the correlation between the two and tie the two together and realize that this version of human, us, Homo sapiens sapien, are the new kids on the block. We just got here about 200,000 years ago. But before us, there were many more super advanced civilizations on this planet, at least 4 that I know of now, before they rose and fell. And we're heading into the 5th civilization now, the 5th rise to a golden age, which is where we're headed right now. So it's going to be, we're probably about 10,000 years away from that, which is a very short period of time. We're in the beginning of a silver age right now. And so just, my quest became to figure out how to put all this together and understanding that the past is prologue. What keeps making the rise and the fall? Why do we keep falling? Right. So my mission, really, to be honest with you, is how do we get to a golden age and sustain it? That's really the true mission.
Now, before, excuse me 1 second, Empress Aisha. Those that are tuning in, please go to his website, forbiddenknowledge.com. Of course, he got Forbidden TV. He got, matter of fact, his link tree is inside this one here. It leads you to everything. It might not be because he has a lot of stuff. Brother, though, he has a lot of accounts. He's handling a lot of business. I mean, his family's working for him. But before we go there, what's so interesting, Brother Billy, is that dealing with the ancient civilization, would you say that these people are our ancestors?
Great question. Yes, I believe they are our ancestors. They are our cousins, so to speak. So what we are now, we're Homo sapiens sapien.
Right.
So there's a misconception that man was created by God or created by these gods, these Anunnaki people, or these advanced beings that came to Earth. They didn't create us. We were already here. Okay. I documented this when I went out to Australia and Outback and sat with Aboriginal elders. And their handed down histories that they were seated on this planet. I'm talking about deep antiquity. I'm talking about millions of years ago. Hominids were already here, even in the Sumerian tablets. When you read them, when these Anunnaki beings came from other planet and star systems to visit Earth, there were already people here that weren't Homo sapien yet, and they genetically modified an existing Homo sapien race of people on this planet to get them to do the labor for them. So our cousins were already here. Our relatives, our deep antiquity ancestors were already here. Nobody made us. We were already here.
So that, I guess, the Bible and the Quranic story would be a little bit off, of course.
A little bit off, because it kind of gives you the idea that man was created about 6,000 years ago, and so to speak. And, and somebody took dust and made him out of dust and clay and everything else.
But they in these books they say we, and that we did this or that did. They start talking about gods that came down and had impregnated women and all of this type of stuff. So, okay, let's Empress Aisha, do you have a question for him? Please share that question.
Yes. I noticed, the Emerald Tablet, and I know, does the Emerald Tablet exist Islam and all the religions that we know about?
Very good question. The Emerald Tablets with an S. There's 2 tablets. One is with an S and one's without an S. The Emerald Tablet of Hermes is at the Cambridge Library in the UK, and that was the translation by Sir Isaac Newton. But the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, they're located right now under the Vatican archives, and they are estimated around 36,000 to 40,000 years old.
Wow.
And what's interesting is when you read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, which is what I based my book on, you begin to realize that all the major religions took from that to create some of their scripture. And so I show in the book side by side where Jesus is quoted as talking and where the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, where Thoth is talking. So which came first, the chicken or the egg? So this, the book, Thoth, the tablets were written so long ago, long before Jesus even existed. And so all of a sudden you begin to realize he's quoting from the Emerald Tablets. And why would Jesus quote from the Emerald Tablets? Because when you read the Gospel of the Holy 12, which was kept out of the Bible, you discover that Yeshua, that's his real name, he went to Egypt to live. And I've been to the house that he actually lived in Coptic Cairo. It's a shrine now. He went there to learn the Egyptian mysteries, and he was taught by Hermes Trismegistus, known to the Greeks, or Thoth, the Atlantean priest king, known to the Egyptians, who ruled over Egypt for 14,000 years in ancient past. But he went to go learn Thoth's teachings, the ancient Egyptian mysteries, And so he learned those mysteries, and then he went from there to Tibet to learn Reiki healing with the hands and energetic healing, Qigong and all that. Then he went to India to learn mystic arts, and he taught reincarnation the whole way back. Then when he gets back at the age of 32, he then reappears in the modern day Bible. They pick up from 12 to 32, he disappears, and he reappears riding in on the back of a donkey. But so basically, it's not the story that people think. We have to remember something interesting about these religious books. They're actually New Age. So people like to say, oh, he's one of these New Age guys. Actually, no, I'm very old age. I'm very old.
Exactly.
Yeah, these Bibles, these Qurans, and these other books, no disrespect to you, but they were just written not too long ago. The Bible wasn't written at the time that Jesus was alive. It wasn't written when Moses was alive. Now think about this. Moses lived long before Jesus lived, but Moses wasn't written about until 100 AD to 900 AD. So the biblical stories weren't written until modern times almost, really is what I call that. To me, that's just modern times, 100th century to 900th century. That's not too long ago. And so they're very new books. They're copied and plagiarized from other previous ancient texts.
You know, and those that are just tuning in, we got our guest Billy Carson, and of course the galactic agent of for the freedom of humans on this planet. I love that on your IG. That's why I had to copy and paste real quick. I said, wait a minute, I got to use that. And but also he has a text number. If you want to text him, that's 954-245-0086. He's on ID at Forbidden Knowledge, and of course, Linktree at Forbidden Knowledge. I like how he does that. Everybody love that Forbidden Knowledge. You know, Billy. Over the years, I've heard many people speak on the ancient this and the ancient that, and of course, it was H.P. Blavatsky that called it New Age. A lot of this new stuff they call it New Age when they was really stealing from old age information. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that was to take away from who the ancient people of antiquity were, like our people and those and the ancestors. Now, from your studies and going to these different places, now, how many places and civilizations has you visited all throughout the earth?
Oh man, wow! I would say probably well over 24 at least. You know, I mean, I've hiked 37 miles through the jungles of Cambodia. I've done mountains in Asia. I've gone through the jungles in Peru. I've been everywhere. You know, down to the Yucatan Peninsula and into South America. I mean, wow. The more I think about it, the more amazed I really am. Like I've gone through 3 passports because all the pages keep running out of stamps. Yeah.
Wow.
I just got another one. Right at the beginning of or the middle of 2020, I got another one. And that would have been almost full, but the COVID happened or whatever, so but I missed a lot of trips, got rescheduled. So, but yeah, I've been to a lot of civilizations, and I've sat with a lot of elders, indigenous people. I like to get with those people, not the mainstream guide people.
Yeah,
mainstream guys, they give you the commercialized, story.
Yes.
So I always try to find somebody that grew up there, that is now teaching what they know, what has been handed down, verbal history, and so forth. And that's what I like to do.
Now, you also sat with the Dalai Lama, is that correct?
Yeah, sat with the Dalai Lama. And I've been blessed by monks. I've hiked up Kulin Mountain to the top where there's like a 300-meter waterfall and swam with monks. I've been out in the outback in the fires of Australia looking for Proto-Egyptian hieroglyphs, which we did find and document on video and take some great photos of that. There's a documentary coming out about that very soon, The Mystery of the Glyphs. And we got those hieroglyphs verified and authenticated now by the Board of Antiquities of Cairo. So they are authenticated at 5,000-year-old Proto-Egyptian hieroglyphs out in the middle of nowhere in the outback in Australia.
Wow.
Yes.
And Billy, what's so interesting, a lot of people, like I said, like to call this misinformation and all that, but a lot of this stuff is peer review. Isn't that correct?
Oh, yeah. A lot of it's peer. The thing of that, what I do is I always back up what I say with some type of additional sources or science. And all my workshops are based that way. All my talks and lectures are based that way. Even when I'm talking about these ancient civilizations, even when I'm talking about genetic modification of hominids, I'm not just saying that because I'm thinking about it and it just sounds like a good idea to say it. No. I'm basing it on what I read in actual ancient texts that anybody can get access to. I'm no special person that can, I just take the time to read them. And so everyone can get access to all these texts and these tablets and these cuneiform stones and these cylinder scrolls and all these ancient scriptures. I just dedicated my life to it. And the beautiful thing is, it's available to everyone to go read for yourself. You got to remember, back in ancient times, people were worried about surviving day to day. Nobody's sitting around going, you know what? I got a little extra time on my hands. I think I'm going to make up a story about genetically modifying some hominids. You know, it just didn't happen. You know, if they wrote about it, that means it was an important thing to them. If they drew it in a cave, it was an important thing to them.
Yes.
They know how to draw. They draw animals. They draw dogs, cats, cattle, sheep. And then they draw an alien and a spaceship. They saw it. They drew what they saw.
Right. Empress, go ahead, please. Share your question.
What is one of your most astonishing experience since you've been on this journey?
I would say, still for me, is going inside the Grand Gallery of the Great Pyramid. In other words, climbing up that Grand Gallery shaft, and when you get to the top of that shaft inside the pyramid, you step over into the King's Chamber. And the King's Chamber has got these gigantic megalithic granite walls. And still today, you cannot put a human hair in between that, with no mortar there, in between those gigantic granite blocks. They're magnetized. So when I turned on my camera, the magnetic waves started coming across the screen. But the most important thing about this room is the box that's in that room. It's a concrete box or a stone box, really. They try to say it's a sarcophagus, but it's not. I'm too tall to fit in the box, and I'm only 6'4". It actually is the same exact dimensions of the Ark of the Covenant. So the Ark of the Covenant used to sit in there because it was a missing piece. It was added much later as a missing piece to the power generation system that they had in the Great Pyramid, because the aquifer underneath the Great Pyramid had started to dry up. So they needed something to boost the power source out of the apex, and they put the Ark of the Covenant in that box. So they made that box special just for that. So knowing that I'm standing next to history, such as something that the Ark of the Covenant may have actually been stored in and was a powerful piece of ancient history, that's still, for me, one of the greatest experiences, so far traveling the world.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Can't hear you, King Simon. We can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I muted myself. Billy, you came here to experience some great things in your history and in your time. And I know you speak on Atlantis and Lemuria, where people will say it's real and some will say it's not. From your studies, is Atlantis and Lemuria real?
Oh, my studies is 1,000% real. I think there's more evidence for Atlantis and Lemuria than there is for a lot of the stuff we read in our modern history books. I mean,
that's funny.
There's way more evidence out there for that stuff. When I sat with the Aboriginal elders, again, Lemuria was right off the coast of Australia, another separate island which sunk. There's a lot of islands that you can find that are now completely submerged. Civilizations completely submerged. They just found Dwarka. They found all these things underneath the water. And so they're all over the planet. If you're off the coast of Florida, there's an entire pyramid complex right around the Bermuda Triangle, which is well documented as well. And the pyramid there is bigger than the one at Giza, underwater. So these civilizations were here. Now, Atlantis was not just a ring city. This is the biggest misconception. Atlantis had a ring city. And what was Atlantis? Earth was Atlantis. Earth was a global Atlantean civilization. The ring city that sunk due to that war was just one capital of many capitals on Earth. So Atlantis was global. So there were capitals on all the major continents and also in other areas of the planet. And that particular one ring, the famed ring city that was out there in the Atlantic, was just one of the capitals. But if you read the Emerald Tablets, Thoth tells, after they come back and rebuild the land of Kem and put the Dogon tribe in charge, he tells his people to go around the planet and duplicate what we learned here. And each one of those leaders went to different parts of the planet and rebuilt big time advanced civilizations. And those all became Atlantean capitals as well.
And before I turn it over to you, Empress, I was watching the movie Godzilla and King Kong.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I saw it.
You see where they're going, inner Earth. Does
Yeah.
inner Earth exist according to the peer reviews and the people that you have connected with in this realm of knowledge?
Great question, and I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes,
So
sir.
the inner Earth is not what a lot of people think, where there's this hollow Earth and there's a center sun and all of that. That doesn't exist. We really do have a magnetic core and everything else. However, the Earth is so massive, I don't think people really understand the scale of the full mass of the planet Earth itself. We are like tiny little ticks sitting on the top surface. We're barely occupying any of the mass of this planet whatsoever. If you go down into the Earth, and there's so many miles of layers there, there are gigantic, huge honeycomb openings. Some of these openings can hold civilizations of 1 million, 2 million, 3 million people in some of these honeycomb gigantic openings inside the Earth. One of those entrances are right at Antarctica. There's a 35-meter wide opening which leads into one of these gigantic, huge honeycomb civilizations where there are people there with these gigantic, they live in these gigantic openings with advanced structures. Or if they're still there now, I don't know, but according to the ancient texts, this is where a lot of people used to live. Even in the in the Sumerian tablets, Enki said he wanted to make his abode below. So he used a special type of a beam weapon to open up the Earth and create something deep underground. And he created his entire castle and everything else deep, deep, deep inside the Earth. And so these things exist, but it's not like the whole Earth is a gigantic hollow ball.
Right.
But there are these massive openings in the Earth that allow for potential civilizations to exist. There's even some that, by the way, there's even some that have their own beaches. This is documented science. You can look these up. There's one of them in Asia, I believe. Beaches and their own ecosystem, their own rainfall system, trees, everything, all underneath the Earth.
Wow. I mean, a lot of people would think this is amazing because probably we don't have access. I remember watching a movie with Denroy Wilson called Core, where they was digging big holes into the Earth. I mean, massive holes. They had these machines. Matter of fact, it was a black guy, presumably, that invented this hole making machine. And that was what he was based on. So I know they have that. I've actually seen a hole that big. What's so interesting, I have a relative in Canada that have seen a lot of space activities back in the day. And I'm going to be bringing her on anyway by next month because she's also was a disco diva back in the day, and I want to bring her on and tell her story. But she spoke about those things of seeing UFO, so to speak, because we, of course, been identified, and her mother bearing witness and other people bearing witness to this in Canada, in the North, because I know in the North a lot of those things happen, especially towards the North Pole and all that kind of stuff. A lot of that stuff happened. But moving right along, the stuff that you've been doing over the years, as far as the information that you've been working on, and of course the Emerald Tablet. That this was your first book, or this is your second? But this is your first book, right?
First book, yeah.
First book that you put out. What intrigued me about it is that it's an easy read.
Thank you.
And also, what intrigued me is about the process of how you did it, because you said you actually went and shut down everything for like 15 days.
Yeah.
So the discipline, and I want to get into moving into that, but let Empress Aisha Moore ask the next question before I move into that. Go ahead, sister.
And that was a good one. I wanted to hear about that one. Please don't use that Queen Simon.
I won't lose it.
Really. When you say we're in the Silver Age right now, what does that mean?
Well, according to like the Indians,
that we're in the Silver Age right now.
Yeah, yes. There's this thing called the Yuga cycle. And so the Yuga cycle is a gigantic circle of time where civilizations rise and then they fall again, this gigantic cyclical cycle. And so there's a Kali Yuga. And so at this Yuga at the top, you have the Golden Age, which lasts for about 27 to 30,000 years, sometimes up to 50,000 years, just depends. And you move down, all of a sudden, somehow greed, envy, jealousy, anger, war, and all those things start to gradually creep back in towards the end of the Golden Age, which causes a collapse, and you move back into a Bronze Age. Sometimes it can happen from a geological disaster as well. And so then mankind falls back into a Bronze Age. And after just a few generations, it's almost like coming out of the caves again, learning everything from scratch, all the ideas, all the inventions, all the technology, everything has been gone. And people are literally starting over again. And then you move down into the age where you're trying to go through the Yuga cycle, through the Kali Yuga, trying to get up into Tetra Yuga. Right now we're in, I believe, the Tetra Yuga, my personal belief, which is the beginning of a silver age that heads back up into a golden age. So we're like the pioneers. Shows like this, stuff that I put out, books like we put out and things like that are all about really helping raising the awakening of mankind, taking them to a next level consciously, and also starting the process as pioneers to move mankind, usher them towards the next golden age. And this is the beginning process. And as we head into the age of Aquarius, which is not officially, but almost here, like 2025 is like the official beginning of age of Aquarius, I believe. You're going to start to see, that's why you're seeing all the awakening happen, the change in mindset, the people releasing a lot of religious mindsets and ideologies and moving more towards spirituality. We're heading in that that age right now. We're getting ready to really take on the silver age and move up that Yuga cycle.
Can I ask one question, Keith Simon?
Yeah, go ahead.
Does this silver age connects with like the moon and women? Is this why women are like becoming much more like on the front line than how we used to be as females? Like, is what's happening because of the silver age?
Great question. It's a great question. See, right now we live in a male frequency dominated civilization on this planet. And it has been for a very, very long time. And so the suppression of the feminine, this is what the ancients did to us. So these ancient advanced beings, you want to call them Anunnaki, Atlanteans, whatever you want to call them, some of them were not that good. And they figured out, put a system in place that suppresses the feminine energy, because once you suppress the feminine energy, you can dominate the planet, because men are going to operate from pure logic and warring mentality versus having your feminine energy, which gives the balance. And so you see, just look at the state of the planet with the suppression of the feminine, all the wars, all the third world countries, the poverty, and all the things that we see, a lot of these issues, unfortunately, and most of the crimes are mostly committed by men. It is what it is. It's a fact. The numbers don't lie. And that is because of the suppression of the feminine energy, the suppression of the balance that we need to have the yin and the yang. And so now that moving into this golden age, we're getting more awakened individuals. Women are also starting to find their true selves, and they're also feeling more empowered, which is why I'm starting this whole new series on my TV network called Empowering Women, so that they can now begin to spread their light and release their feminine energy and having a direct effect on this overpowering masculine energy on the planet, and which is going to give us better balance. And I think that
we do need the balance.
The golden age, yeah.
We do need the balance. We do need the balance. Okay, that makes sense. That makes more sense, because we know, especially European males, they've been very destructive, and then some of us as black men has taken on the same European mind to do the same thing. When we was actually in ancient time, we was balanced with our women.
Balance.
I don't understand what happened. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'm a high school dropout. I don't know nothing. But it is what it is.
In ancient times, the women in Egypt, when it was land of Chem,
women
were the king. The king was never a man. The king was the woman. And I'm sorry, my bad. The women were the pharaoh. My bad. The women were the pharaoh, and the men were the king.
Were the king, right?
That's how it was in super ancient times.
Okay, so pharaoh and king. So it was women was pharaoh and men was the king.
Correct.
So what is the queen?
Huh?
So what is the queen?
No, the queen is a European woman.
Queen came into the dynastic era. That it got flipped around a little bit. Queen came into the dynastic era, but it started off as women really ruled with power as pharaohs.
Right.
Yeah.
Also remember, queen in etymology means the king's whore. So we got to be very careful of. I don't even like using queen. That's why I say empress. I'm very careful about using the word queen nowadays. Somebody just asked, a friend of mine, Crystal. Hey, Crystal, do you know, or did the civilizations in inner Earth experience night and day?
That's a great question. Now, when you have some of these gigantic honeycomb civilizations, is what I call them, because there's these gigantic openings, like I was talking about, these vast openings. in my opinion, they had the technology. So one of the places that I have is called Fort Terra Nova that I own. It's well documented. It's been on the History Channel. It's an underground city that I built back in 2012. It's about the size of 3 Walmarts underground, and it can save the lives of 360 people if something happened globally or even locally, regionally, whatever. We can go down there and survive for up to 1 year off the grid. The reason why I bring this up is because in that dome structure that I have built underneath the earth, there's uplighting, and that uplighting lights up the walls all the way to the ceiling and gives you the daylight effect. And so you don't get depressed from being in too much darkness and have vision issues and problems and everything else. So the uplighting's in there. So I'm pretty sure these civilizations, in my opinion, may have already devised a way to create some type of a system of artificial lighting, or some mechanism or way to transport light through one of the openings in some of the caverns that lead to those deepest levels to add additional lighting. Some of them have natural light because some of them have plants and trees growing down there already. Right. So there's a combination of both. I think you'll find some with some artificial lighting and some that have a combination of that and natural lighting.
Wait a minute, who built that dome? Who built that dome?
I did. Me, Fort Terra Nova. Yeah, I did. I went into partnership with Radius Engineering, and so we became the Department of Defense underground shelter builder in the world.
So wait a minute, you taking the technology of Buckminster Fuller?
Well, in a way. So we figured out that, of course, dome structures are the strongest structures.
Strongest structure, yes. Big up to Aton Edwards, he's here. Okay, big up to Aton. Go ahead.
The base of the structure, it interconnects and it allows the structure to snake underground in case the ground moves, so it doesn't crack and break open. And it's got it's got modules that are interconnected, which have tunnels that lead to one another. So if you go to Fort Terra Nova Instagram account, you can see pictures of the whole facility there. FORTTERRA.
Well, I can't wait to see that.
Wait a minute, we're gonna have to write that down, brother. But I was quite caught into what you said, because I've been training disaster preparedness for over 20 years now with my instructors on Facebook right now, Aton Edwards, who's a disaster preparedness guru from NSBC and International Preparedness Network. And I remember listening about, studying about the Buckminster Fuller, but I know it's not his technology. It's something that they call his. Yeah. But you building one, what age were you when you built this, brother? Because you're a young man.
I did it back in 2012. So let's see what that was. I'll tell you right now. And go to the calculator on these things.
And those that are just tuning in, we got Billy Carson, the galactic agent for the freedom of humans on this planet. You've seen him on Gaia. You've seen him on Ancient Civilization. Some big program in there, Panina Sister and Brethren. Some big program, and he got a lot of followers. Make sure you hit him up on, of course, at Linktree. And of course, you can hit him up on Instagram and Facebook and all that. But brother, you've been doing this. I mean, you just in just a short time, you've done a lot.
Done a lot of stuff. I was 41 at that time, and it was completed at 41. So, wow. But yeah, it was huge. So the episode that it's on is History Channel. It's called "Countdown to Apocalypse," the Nostradamus episode. That's the episode that I'm on.
Countdown to the Apocalypse.
Countdown to Apocalypse. Nostradamus was the episode. That's the title of the episode. Yeah.
Oh wow, man! The Nostradamus episode. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's get into the discipline of writing books, man. Because you're an author, I'm an author, and there's many authors out there.
Yeah.
Woo! For this book, you sat down. You shut everything down for 15 days.
15 days, man. 15 days.
What was that process like, brother?
Yeah. I had thought about doing the book for over a year. Thought about it, never started. And I said, I keep thinking about doing this book, and I keep thinking about it, but how come I haven't done it yet? So I said, okay, that's it. It's time to start writing this book. So I just locked my phone. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I figured if anybody really needs to get to me, it's going to be only the people on my emergency list that lets the phone call come through. So that would be like, kids, children, things like that, emergency calls only. I let everybody know, look, I'm off the grid. I'm off the grid. Don't contact me. Don't message me. I'm not going to respond to anything. And I literally just unplugged. I had my son running my social media accounts.
Yes.
I unplugged. And the only time I got up and left the house was just to stand outside for a few minutes to get a little bit of sunlight on my face. Other than that, even food was all Uber Eats or Postmates or whatever. I just had it delivered to the house. And I literally just locked in. I said, I knew I was going to do 15 chapters. I knew that when I started because of the amount of tablets. So I realized I was going to do 15 chapters. I said, I'm going to lock down and do one chapter a day. And in 15 days, I'll have this book. And so I just worked like 15 to 18, sometimes hours a day. One time I only worked 12 hours in one day, took a little time off to relax. And, but I got it done. And so it proved to me something else, is that there's always more that you can do. And a lot of the time that we waste. Yes. I recognized that doing this book. I recognized how much time, even me, a person that would be considered quote unquote an overachiever in a lot of areas, still have a lot of waste time. There's always ways to maximize. And when you really lock down and want to commit to doing something and really focus on it and make it a top priority, you can get it done. And that's exactly what I did.
Man, last night, the other when did we talk about astral travel? We was talking with the African spiritualist, right?
Yes, we were. Yes.
She wants to ask the question about astral travel and remote viewing. Please go ahead, ask your question.
Sure, yeah. Well, remote viewing, I definitely do. That was a remote viewing. I was trained by Major Ed Dames. You can look him up, Project Stargate online. A famous military project. This is a well-documented military project, CIA operated. And so, I didn't work for the CIA. He was in the CIA. After he retired, he started training individuals, started training people. And so I attended some of his classes. I became an adept in some of his classes. So he took on to me, and we really, got a lot of separate side training, a lot of many hours developing with him on the side. And so it's really incredible. Right now he owns the Matrix Intelligence Agency. That's his agency that he owns right now. In his spare time, he finds Amber Alert children using remote viewing.
Right.
So I recently taught a remote viewing workshop.
Yeah, I was in that. I was in the remote viewing workshop.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Ago, yeah. We did a follow-up.
What is
remote viewing? Is when you send your mind. Yeah, remote viewing is when you send your mind to a target. So you'll be given a target, and typically the person that picks the target will give you a target number. So they use an 8-digit random number generator, and they will, with their own consciousness, attach whatever the target is anywhere in the world or the universe to that 8-digit number. And then they will present you with the 8-digit number that has conscious information attached to it. And then you, as a remote viewer, take that number and begin a series of techniques that we teach to then access that Akashic information, is what it really is. And tap into that, and tap into where that target is located, and bring back intel or intelligence on the target. And so I became really, really good at this. And so that's remote. So remote viewing is different from astral projection. Remote viewing is in your mind out, and your body stays local. You stay inside your body, and you stay to a certain level of consciousness because you need to actually write down the intelligence information that you're gathering.
Okay.
Astral projection, you actually are in a dream state or a meditative state where you actually leave the body. Your spirit, your energy source, your light being actually leaves the physical avatar body and is then free to move around and travel in space and time. Now, I've actually done this twice, and I'm pretty sure I can do it more, but both times, I'm not going to lie, my reason why I don't do it a lot, I'd rather do remote viewing. Yeah. Both times I had a hard time finding my way back. And kind of scared me a little bit. So the second time that it happened, I thought it was, well, the first time I wasn't experienced enough. The second time, I had the same problem. It just took me a long time to get back. And then when I got back, I couldn't get back inside the avatar, inside the body. And so when I finally did, but it took so long, and it freaked me out a little bit. So I'm not saying that, it's not worth doing or not worth trying. For me, I just felt like remote viewing is better.
You know that those that are just tuning in, we're speaking with the great one, Billy Carson, our guest for tonight, and the galactic agent for freedom of humans on this planet. I love that. Of course, you can text him via 954-245-0086. That's 954-245-0086. His IG page is Forbidden Knowledge, and of course, Linktree. Hit him up /Forbidden Knowledge, and of course, hit him up at his website, forbiddenknowledge.com. He also owns his own television network. Our brother owns his own television network, which I want to be a part of this. So I just need to talk to him on how we upload certain things, because YouTube is doing certain stuff that we ain't got no time to be playing games, my brother. And I know you invited Brother Rich, and you've invited me before on it, so I know I can't wait to make it happen. Big up to my cousin and Aton. Aton said to ask you, ask him what he thinks about the recent release of Page 25.
Page 25, is he referring to the FBI documents?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's happening now is we're getting a soft disclosure because they're getting ready to really funnel trillions of dollars into secret space programs. So what you'll see right now, the trend that's happening is, the aliens are real, the UFOs are real, right? And so but they're a threat to us. So all of a sudden now they're a threat.
Right.
These UFOs have been seen for thousands of years across many civilizations, but now all of a sudden they're a threat. They're just a threat to us because they're coming to the military bases and they're shutting down the nukes. To me, that's not a threat. To me, that's a help.
Right.
They're flying by our military ships and our F-18 fighters, and they're showing us that they can outmaneuver us. To me, they're just kind of showing off and showing you guys that you got a long way to go, man. But they're gonna paint the picture as this major alien threat because they have to give us the fear, and so they're gonna present the problem. They're gonna get our reaction, and the solution is we need all your money. Please, we're going to take this. Now you don't have to question where we're moving this money. Before we would question them. We would have congressional hearings on where the money's disappearing to. Now they're going to have a real reason for the money disappearing because it's to fight alien threats. It's to build our space defense force and all this other stuff so we can take weapons into space, which is a big no-no. We should not do that, but that's what they're trying to do. And once we start taking weapons into space, then we're going to agitate some people that have a lot more knowledge and a lot better technology than us.
Right.
This is something that should not be done, but this is what they're moving towards. So they're going to start disclosing these UFOs. You got the Nimitz incident. You got all these documents coming down from the FBI, declassified documents showing these things are real, but they're showing it in a way that makes us feel like there's a threat to us, threat to national security. In actuality, they're doing nothing more than we do when we go to the Sahara Desert or the Amazon forest. We go out in these safaris, we alien abduct animals, right? We sneak up on them, we shoot them with darts, we knock them out. We alien abduct them because we're not from their environment. Then we stick tracking devices underneath their skin. We hide cameras in their dens and in their locations where they live. And then we just sit back and we watch them to see how they develop through anthropology. And we watch them and we see what they do and how they respond to each other, how they interact with each other, how they're developing, what they do. And so that's exactly the same thing that's happening to mankind, humanity. We're being tracked and watched the same exact way.
But now, wasn't this project already done amongst the Star Wars in the Reagan era when he was talking about that Star Wars project he wanted to do? Wasn't that already being in preparation for this, or were they doing it since Nixon and since Tesla, and was they doing it since those guys?
But the secret space program has already been done. It's not new.
Okay,
Every few years there's a big hearing, and like Donald Rumsfeld took the heat for, I think it was $18 trillion that was missing, and then all of a sudden 9/11 happened and blew up this tower number 7 where the records were located, right? It's like we don't have to now with this new threat. We're telling you this is where we're taking the money, so now we ain't got to hide it no more. But you don't know what the money's being used for, but you know that we took it to use it for space defense.
Wow.
Private corporations, let me tell you the main reason behind this too. It ain't just protecting against aliens that are not going to attack us, but it's also about major Pentagon contracts, major defense contracts. So they take the trillions of dollars from the people, they move it into private corporations that supply these different technologies to the government, and then they sit on the boards of those companies. So they bring in the profits, or they buy the shares of those companies in advance before they get these contracts and know the shares are going to go up. They make money on the gain. Or if they know that they're going to rob a contract from another company, they'll put a put on the stock market, a put option, and they'll make money on the crash of a particular company. So they're making billions of dollars by stealing money from the general population.
Someone says in the chat, based on your research and experience, how accurate was Billy Cooper's facts about what was and is to come?
Bill Cooper's an amazing individual. I think a lot of his information was pretty much spot on. Some of it was, just hypothesis or theory, from where he sees what could happen based off what his current situation was, his perspective was at that time. But I think a lot of the stuff he already talked about has already happened, to be quite honest with you. So it's quite possible that it could get to that level, which is one of the reasons why, people like King Simon is here, why I'm here. We'll try to, through awareness, we can avert these things. See, there is no set destiny. Everything exists as a superposition of probabilities.
Yes, sir.
It's all probabilities. Now, what Bill Cooper was suggesting is a high probability. However, because it's in superposition of the future realities in the third dimension, these things can be changed. We can create ripples in the space-time continuum that alter future realities. So I'm doing that through bringing awareness to people and bringing knowledge and information to people, because through that, those ripples will alter our future reality.
Please go to his website, forbiddenknowledge.com. That's forbiddenknowledge.com. Any questions moving forward before we get to his book, Aisha? Go ahead. His other book.
Yes, on occasions I would see the sun, but like at a distance from the sun, I would see another light. Is there something coming towards the earth, or is that like some people say that's just the sun reflecting a light? I don't believe that. I've seen it. I took a picture of it, put on my Facebook page to ask about it. But I'm curious about it because every now and again I see that light, and I wanted to know, does that have something to do with, what's going on with the space and what they're doing out there, or is it anything that we need to be aware of?
Well, there's a couple of interesting things that go on that can create that particular situation. One is it could be a particular type of a lens flare, but I've seen some photos where it didn't look like a lens flare. Another thing that it could be as well is we have Venus and we have Mercury up there. So on particular times of the year, you will get what looks like to be a double sun. One's much smaller than the other, but it could be a backlit planet. And another option, another thing that it could be as well is we do have another brown dwarf star that orbits our sun, and it's on a 4,200-year orbit. And so right now it's in a position where it's actually moving towards our sun. This is mainstream science, no pseudoscience here, guys. And so we have a brown dwarf star that has 6 objects orbiting it, a mini solar system in our solar system that orbits our sun. And so as our sun orbits it, it builds up breakaway speed. But there is a time where they're almost in a special alignment where you can kind of see both at the same time. A brown dwarf is so dim, it has to be very close to a highly lit object for it to be seen with the naked eye. So in most of the time, you can never even see it because it gives off very, very little radiant light. You can only see it very well under an infrared telescope. So use the infrared mode, or you go to Worldwide Telescope, go to 2-mass infrared mode, and you'll be able to actually see that it's there. And also another thing in our solar system, there's 2 more. One is called Apophis. Apophis, after the ancient Greek god, which really stems from ancient Egypt, the land of Chem first. But Apophis is about a Texas-sized asteroid that's running around our solar system right now. It came by last, I think, in 2013. It came by again recently with a flyby. The next one, I think, is due in 2036, where it'll come in between the Earth and the Moon, that close. It's going to scrape us. It's going to scrape us. Within the next 100 years, it's known that it's actually going to strike. When it goes around the back side of the sun, it could get lit, and it could be another light in the sky. And then there's one more, our moon.
Yes.
So our moon has an object that orbits it, another moon. There's another small object that orbits in this very weird, bumpy orbit that orbits our moon and orbits Earth at the same time. So there's actually kind of a moonlet that we kind of have up there too. And that can even get backlit by the sun at certain angles and certain times of the year, depending on where you are on the planet. It could also appear as another light in the sky. So there's a lot of options that it could be.
And you're bringing me back to someone who else is born under the number 4. And that was the late, great Dr. Delbert Blair, because Dr. Delbert Blair used to talk about this a lot. And yes, I remember I gave you one of his books at what's the name, lectures. And he didn't even get to see those books manifest because he just wanted his brother Tony and all of them. He asked them as one of his last will and testament to transcribe those books from his lectures and stuff. And 4 of his books have been transcribed. And of course, every time we close it with his prayer. And of course, we big up his website because his website is still selling the magnets. He's still selling the Faraday technology on his website. So big up to Dr. Blair, the late great Dr. Blair, keeping his legacy alive. The metacenter2.com. And he used to speak about this Nibiru. Because I know who else used to speak about it. Who wrote the books? What's his guy? I got the books. Genesis Revisited.
Oh, you're talking about Zachariah Sitchin.
Zachariah, I know you have his collection. I remember you was at the house. I see.
I got the whole collection. Yeah.
What do you think about Zachariah Sitchin and his whole information that he brought out back in those days?
Now, I'm glad you brought that up because there's a whole lot of lies floating around Zachariah Sitchin on YouTube, and people have taken to YouTube almost like YouTube is like a be all end all for information. And so when somebody says something about somebody, they just take it and run with it without going to do any research. So Zachariah Sitchin is an amazing researcher, one of the greatest researchers literally of all time in ancient civilizations. And he wrote a series of books. And these books really awakened people to the fact, in my opinion, that there were ancient civilizations that were run by some of these Nibiruans or Atlanteans or Anunnaki, whatever you want to call them. Now, Zachariah Sitchin never said that he was the only person that can translate these tablets, and nobody else really ever said that as well. They just said he was a scholar. And towards the end of his life, people looking to discredit the ancient alien theory and started saying that how come he's the only one that can decipher these stone tablets and nobody else can read them, and Nibiru doesn't exist anywhere in any text. Well, they were either completely fabricating or ignorant. Number one, Zachariah Sitchin, all his books, every paragraph has a reference to the source he used to write that paragraph. So there's hundreds of references in each individual book. He tells you the exact source where he got the information. The second thing is the tablets that he used to write his theories and his books were already deciphered in the 1700s. Sumerian tablet. I did a whole workshop for 2.5 hours on this a few times, actually. So these Sumerian cuneiform tablets had been long since translated before Zachariah Sitchin was even born. He wasn't even a spermatozoa yet, put it that way. That's how long ago these things were translated. And so he took existing translations. He translated nothing and to write these books. And so now any person on this planet can go to the UCLI online CDLI Cuneiform Digital Library, and you can grab a virtual stone of a tablet off the virtual shelf and drop it into the translator tool and read it for yourself. Wow. It's not, Zachariah Sitchin was phenomenal because he put the pieces of the puzzle together. He did what I do. He went to the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita. He went to the modern day Bible, the Torah, the Sumerian tablets. He went to the Code of Hammurabi and the Book of Adapa and all these texts. And he said, boom, this is the picture it's painting. So Zachariah Sitchin was a genius. And now that many of the scholars like myself have gone and read the tablets for ourselves and come up with the same theories, and the Nibiru is in the ancient texts. It's in the Enuma Elish and the 7 tablets of creation. Because of that, his work has been venerated, in my opinion.
Wow, wow, wow. Those that are just tuning in, well, of course, we're broadcasting live on YouTube at King Simon Presents and the Numerovation Nation. Also, we're on Facebook broadcasting at King Simon and King Simon Production. And we are broadcasting live on Twitter at King Simon Prod. So we are on multiple platforms right now, and a lot of people is hitting me up from all over there. Big up to Abdul, Dooley, big up to Dooley, big up to Modesty Blaze, one of the extraordinary performers out of Canada. She is matter of fact, we're going to be having her on next month because she experienced some of that the alien quote unquote flyovers in Canada and all that. We're going to bring her on, and moving right along, Brother Billy, because we want to get into the mindset of what's going on with our people. Woke doesn't mean broke. My brother, let me tell you. I opened this book and I tell people, buy the book. It's $50 and he will send you emails for at least a whole month on different breakdowns of the book and different pre-taped things of the book, as he's been sending me and he's been sending everybody. This book, how long did it take you to write this 662-page book, brother? Because it's 662 pages.
that one took me a little bit longer, 3 months. I did that book in 3 months.
Oh man! Oh, and what was the discipline for that, brother? What was the discipline for that?
It was another lockdown, because the knowledge that it took me to write this book was inside of me.
Yes.
Of course, without some of the stats and statistics that I've added to the book, I've got to do some research to get those statistics and so forth and some of those numbers. But the knowledge was pretty much inside of it. That's decades of knowledge, of business knowledge, learning, understanding, and going through it, winning, losing, and so building successful businesses and some that weren't so successful and what failed and why it failed. So all that information. And it also, I said, I know that the reason why I came up with this book was like, people would see me, I'm riding around in a Rolls Royce or I'm in a Mercedes Benz, when I was giving a lot of food away to the people of Puerto Rico during the disaster and things like that. I'm riding around and picking up, gallons of water in my Benz and things like that. And, oh, you're just trying to show off. Actually, the Mercedes is like the cheapest car I have, And so, I mean, and so it's like, I've been rich way before social media even existed. They want to think, oh, he got rich off of social media. Not really. I sold one of the very first .coms in history for millions of dollars, way before social media was even a thought. Nobody even came up with the concept yet. So I'm just interesting.
That's interesting, Billy. That's interesting. That's interesting because a friend of mine sold his .com, sold a .com years ago and moved to Ghana. He got $1 million and moved to Ghana. But it was AIM. You remember AIM, the toothpaste?
Yeah.
He owned a similar thing to AIM, that AIM.com, and they bought it from him because they didn't want anybody else to have it, and he moved to Ghana. And you wouldn't believe who this person was. I'll tell you off air who the person is because he's a friend of mine. But I'll tell you who it was. I won't say it on air.
So I was like, I knew I was an awakened individual. I'm a spiritual individual. And so I would see it get so many people, condescending comments and you're trying to, like, no, man, it's okay to be wealthy. It's okay to be abundant. Like, if I didn't have what I had, how am I going to continue to help people on the level I'm helping people? I mean, to date, it's well over $12 million that I've given away, documented. Well over $12 million. So it's like, okay, you want me to sit in a robe and slippers on a prepaid track phone, making posts on the internet, and how's that going to change the world?
But before you move on, because you said something about your father, Billy Carson Sr., and you dedicated this book to him. You said that earlier, and I want to read what you said, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
It says, I dedicate this book to my father, Billy Carson Sr. Although we didn't always see eye to eye, he instilled a hard work ethics in me. From the early age of 1 year old, I was writing weekly book reports. By the age of 12, my parents required me to pay rent to live in the family home. I was also required to use my own money to pay for most of my daily needs. While this would have had an adverse effect on most children, it drove me. This work ethic pushed me to become an innovative thinker and entrepreneur. For this reason, I thank you, Dad. You saw something in me and you used your own methods to extract it and teach me how to become my own savior. I love you, Pops. Rest in power. Brother, that was such a I got to give Dad a round of applause, man. That was powerful, brother. That jerked my tear. That tear jerked me. And jerked my tear.
He did it, man. He got it out of me. And so I recognize that a lot of people that were attacking me for being well off, or what appeared to them to be well off, were Black. Yeah. I said, man, something has to be done about this. Something really needs to be done about this. And I came up with the idea for the book, Woke Doesn't Mean Broke. Like, you can be an awakened individual. You can seek knowledge and wisdom and understanding and try to continue to raise your level of thought, thinking, and consciousness, and still manifest abundance. And I believe that the two go hand in hand. I think that if you're out there talking about how powerful we are, we got the power to manifest, and we're light beings, we're light workers. And then you're asking somebody to help you pay your light bill or your phone bill, or your car's getting repossessed, you can't pay your rent. I'm thinking that the people that you're telling this stuff to are going to look at you like, this guy's a joke. He doesn't know, or this woman's a joke, or God. They don't know what they're talking about, because whatever they're doing is not working. I don't like it. Whatever they're doing ain't cool for me, because they can't look at them. They got holes in their pants, they shoes, or they can't. It's not like you want to be materialistic, but at the same time, if you can have all this power, but you can't manifest the fundamental basics of life, then something's wrong. And so I believe that we're supposed to walk in abundance 24/7. And abundance is different for everyone. It may not be $1 billion, which is my goal, $1 billion. It may not be $1 million. It may not be 100,000. Exactly. It could mean that all your bills are paid on time when they're due. It could mean that when you're hungry, food is presented to you. It could mean that anything your kids need or your children need is taken care of. So abundance should be able to manifest for you. And I believe that if you're walking in the right mindset, in the power commanding mindset, not the begging, hoping, wishing mindset, that you can command your realities into existence. And that's how I live. I live like that every single day.
You mute.
I said, go ahead, Aisha, do your thing. Go ahead.
No, I find that amazing. And do you give parenting classes?
That's what the book is for. That's what the book is for. It is worth it.
I'll tell you one secret to parenting that I learned. So growing up, obviously in a Black household, getting beatings and whoopings were, a standard thing. Now, I didn't get spanked as much as my brother, who was just 1 year younger than me, because I was a little bit smarter and a little bit more ingenious, so to speak. So, but what I saw in my neighborhood, in the hood where I grew up, was a lot of, verbal abuse and physical abuse. I'll slap the F out of you, get the F out of my face, put that S back on the shelf when you're in a grocery, put that back on the damn shelf. I'm going to beat the S out of you. Put that S down, and backhanding kids and slapping kids, and all the beatings and all the whoopings and all the slapping and all the cursing. And the ghetto just got worse and worse and worse. Why? Because you're creating a sick environment. Some people say, oh, I got beaten. Look at me. I'm good. Well, you just one small percentage out of tens of thousands of kids that made it. You're just one small percentage. Very often,
that's true.
Yes. Very often when you beat kids and treat them like that and talk to them like that, dogmatic like that, you destroy them. You destroy them on the inside, from the inside out. You make them into abusers. You make them into PTSD people. You make them into people with self-conscious issues and things like that, and anxiety and everything else. And then you go back to the hood. Like, I had to go back to mine every few years to visit, and just to look around, and I realized those same people, they got all those beatings and all those butt whoopings, they're just as sick as their parents were, and they're still in the same position, in the same place. So my biggest advice in terms of parenting is treat your kids with respect, dignity, be firm with them when they get out of hand. But if you can in any way, shape, or form, avoid beating them, avoid cursing them out, find different ways to get your point across without using physical methods and without verbally abusing and demeaning somebody. And there's a lot of different ways to do that.
And that's a powerful statement, because I know I used to have my children in push-ups and holding water bottles and all kind of stuff. I mean, I used to do the martial arts discipline. Yeah, they got laid hands on, but more time they was doing push-ups and probably got laid hands on. But it was at certain points, I had to do certain things, because I always told them, look at especially when it comes to disrespecting the mother. I always used to tell them, look at your belly button and then look at your mother, because that was the connection. That is your natural birthmark that connected you to your mama. Yeah. Every one of us had. So don't ever disrespect that belly button, because you're disrespecting that belly, your mama, you're disrespecting that belly button, that natural birthmark on you, which is your belly button. Don't ever do that. And I'd be on top of them about that all the time, man. And they know this to a point that when a man tried to disrespect my oldest son's mother, he threw that guy through a darn car window. So he was that means it's instilled in them, even from birth, and talking to the womb and talking to the stomach when they're inside. Because I used to talk to them and all that kind of stuff in the stomach. But Billy, in this book, the first thing that I read, just page 2, and I tell people, look, go to the chapter that resonate with you and read it. Because it is a thick book, it's a reference book, because it's giving you different things. But when you spoke on the second chapter, what's your abundance? The second page. What's your abundance? Yeah. I'd say I'm still resonating on that for the last 3 days, and I'm still living that out in my head, because I read it over and over, and you pulled out a lot of different things, and then I might skip. But tell us about abundance and what it means to you, and how many levels is this thing called abundance? Yeah,
abundance is, and like I was saying a little bit earlier, there's so many layers and levels to abundance. Right. So nature itself is abundant. So you look at nature outside of man, just regular old-fashioned nature. You see that it operates in abundance consistently and very effectively and efficiently. And so when you recognize that, I realized that at an early age, like, wow, why aren't human beings operating in that level of abundance? Now, the word abundance wasn't a word that I used back then, but I just recognized that they had whatever they needed, whatever they want. A bird, it goes and gets its food. It feeds the chicks in the nest. I just noticed all these things, and I was like, they don't have a job. They don't have the mortgage to pay and car payments and all this kind of stuff, but they're living, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, wow. And so later on, I realized that that's a form of abundance. And so abundance can be easily found in nature. And one of the things that we've done as human beings, for whatever reason, maybe it's part of the programming that we've been set up to now, is we've abandoned nature. We've abandoned it. We've become technocrats, right? But our connection to nature needs to be reignited and reconnected, because we have a lot to learn from nature itself, especially on how they operate in a very, very simple, abundant system. Now, so abundance is on a plain level for an average person could be just, waking up in the morning, having food in your stomach, having a roof over your head, shoes and clothes on your body. Mm-hmm. Being able to take care of whatever necessities that you have are being presented to you. On another level, though, there's a level of people who are put in positions of power. A person that has a capability of helping massive amounts of people. Mm-hmm. And so in that particular case, a person like myself, needs more abundance. Mm-hmm. We need more abundance because there's more required of us. Yes. I can't help 1,000 girls get college scholarships through my sponsored scouting program if I don't have money to fund the web servers, the video editors, the hosting, the email servers, and all the other things that it takes to make it happen for them. If I don't have, the Zoom that handles the 6,000 webinar for $2,500 a month, I can't do the breathwork meditation for 6,000 people, right?
That's right.
So all these things take money, and because of that, like Forbidden Knowledge TV, people think it's just a breeze, man. I just got the bill for next month. $30,000 is my bill I got to pay. Okay, so these things cost money, and it takes money to be able to spread knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on a massive scale and help people on a massive scale. And so the fund level that I require is typically higher than somebody else.
And Brother Billy, you say something about certain things because I listen to Reverend Ike every day.
Oh yeah,
because Reverend Ike was the man before his time. He was metaphysically breaking it down. As a matter of fact, I have one of his books right here. I'd like to show it. People think I'll be playing. People be thinking I'll be playing games. I don't play games with this. I'm realist about this. So I am the spiritual trillionaire. So I'm growing. I'm growing to meet that. But in your book, the chapter, The Lies You Tell Yourself, explain that briefly, because I want people to buy the book, of course. But what are the lies that people tell themselves a lot, my brother?
Well, people tell themselves that they can't do it. They tell themselves that they're not good enough. They tell themselves, they talk themselves right out of situations that are phenomenal opportunities for them. What people don't realize is windows open and doors open, but windows of opportunity and doors that open up, they also close. And so sometimes people don't have the discernment level, the ability to see those opportunities as they are, and they tell themselves lies about them to themselves that actually talk themselves out of great opportunities. A lot of the times people think that it can never happen to them. That's another big lie. Things, I can never be this good. I can never achieve this level. I can never do this or do that. I can never start this business. I can never pay off my mortgage or be a millionaire or whatever. They tell themselves this, and I see this every single day. People lying to themselves to make themselves feel better. And unfortunately, a lot of these lies have to do with, I hate to say it, but I don't want to put a negative vibe on it, but being lazy. So if I lie to myself, now I've told myself that I can't do this. I don't have the time for this. I can't because I got kids and I got a job and I can't make time for this other thing, and all these lies that they tell, so they can be lazy, so they can actually take the time that would have taken and energy would have taken to create that thing or build that thing. They can take it now and they can put it somewhere else. And so it gives them an excuse. They comfort themselves with the lies to give themselves excuses why they're not achieving anything in life.
Someone just wrote in the chat, they got your book. They would like to know how to receive the emails for the classes.
Okay, so the email customer service at forbiddenknowledge.com. And the emails, some people for reason aren't getting, maybe they put the email in wrong when they sign up for the book. But customer service is the full word, customer service with the number 4, Forbidden Knowledge. Customer service at forbiddenknowledge.com. Tell them to get added to the email list for the replays of the Woke Doesn't Mean Broke free workshops.
Should they send a receipt of if they really got the book? We don't want people.
People typically send a screenshot of the receipt. Yes. Once my daughter gets the email, she automatically asks for a copy of the receipt anyway. Just to make sure.
Okay.
Searches the database to see if they're in there.
Empress, do you have a question? Please share your question, sister.
I do, and I also have a statement that the language you write about, the language you speak to yourself, and I know that from my personal experience, I have been speaking, that language over me, that lack of, and I never knew it. It's because a lot of times, you speak over yourself because of your upbringing, because of your programming. My programming used to be, I could not have certain things unless I had a man by my side, because that was my programming. Now, even though, I got older and grew up and got past all of that, but it's still subconsciously, I didn't get past that. And I never realized that until like years, and took me years and years to really grasp what I was telling myself. Because I'm telling myself, because my programming is, the man bring in the money. The man brings in the money. You know, so I'm thinking, and you're just the backbone. You're the backbone of the relationship. So the programming for myself was, I'm not a money maker, but I'm creative. Oh, I'm not a money maker, but I can do this. I'm not a money maker. So I realized, I was like, wait a minute. As of this year, not years later, like the back then, like years like this year right now, I literally had just come to that realization that that's what I was speaking over myself. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm the reason why I am not going where I want to go.
Right.
You know,
That's right.
I'm seeing that, and then once I start to change that language, and it's very challenging to change to reprogram myself. You know, and I think that's where this is leading to the question is, you know, do your class teach how to teach people how to reprogram their thinking? Because it's not a it's like when you in it and you in it by yourself, because you have people say, oh girl, you know what, just go get your food stamps, just go, you know, get your section 8, you know, just go do that. It's like, no, I don't want that. I'd rather be hungry. I'd rather figure it out. I'd rather get so hungry to the point that I can figure it out. But I'm like, I don't want nothing else to want. I don't want no more government assistance. I don't want nothing. I want what's within me to have. But it's still a struggle because I'm working on deleting what I've been taught, because I was taught that growing up as a Muslim. You're taught, find a good husband, you know, find a man that makes money, you know. So you're like, oh yeah. Then you grow up and say, you know, I don't need a man, but then you got the system. Right. It's like, okay, so it's like a snowball effect.
Catch-22.
Yeah, catch-22.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I found that very, very.
You know what's so funny? In his book, he got choose positive self-talk. I was just about to go into that, but go ahead. With that, what was the question you was going to ask? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's about, you know, like, you know, just like, I guess you take the class, but, you know, do you teach techniques of how to, you know, delete that type of programming and to download a new program within yourself?
Absolutely, sure do. I've done full workshops, which are on Forbidden Off TV, that teach you how to reprogram your body, reprogram your mind, reprogram your DNA, and even reprogram your epigenetics and your RNA. I've done extensive workshops on that. I mean, one of the workshops I did, I think, was 7 or 8 hours. A lot of techniques, and some of those techniques and information through positive affirmations, positive self-talk are in the actual book. And if you speak 3 positive affirmations to yourself 3 times a day, just doing that for 21 days straight, you begin to reprogram your DNA positivity. And it works with anything, any aspect of what you want to change in the DNA. That's just one small, simple technique, but there's so many techniques that I've shown and taught. It's included in the book as well. And some of the free workshops that I've done for the book, I've gone extensively into that positive mindset and reprogramming the mind, reprogramming, erasing old, ancient thoughts and habits that have been passed down to you, and then rewriting and new thoughts and rewriting a whole new way of thinking and moving forward with that. So yes, absolutely.
No, and I can attest that, you know, being in the midst of Billy and being in Florida and feeling that energy, I'm like packing up to come down that way. My mind said the remote is already, I'm going to get this place. I'm going to have that. And my mind, because I've lived in New York in a house, of course, for all my adult life, had it. But I'm tired of New York. I really enjoyed the visit down there and coming there every year and just going into, and just why you got to have friends around you that are doing wealthy things and wealthy work. You know, that's why they say judge you by the 5 friends you have around you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have too many friends around me. I really don't. I keep to myself because I got no time for the foolishness. And I remember reading the book by Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power. I've read, of course, Napoleon Hill, Dennis Kimbrough, all these great books, and they constantly say about overcoming certain fears. And the importance of overcoming the 7 fears and all of that stuff. how important would you say to the audience, Brother Billy, about these fears? Because we know fears, according to the acronym, is false expectations appearing real.
Right.
How was it that you were able, or would you help to somebody like Empress Aisha, who just made that statement about what she's gone through religiously and otherwise? How do you enable, or at least direct them to start breaking those fears? Because there's a lot of fear. You know what I'm saying? So please talk about that real quick.
Yeah. First of all, Empress, I mean, I you know, hats off to you for even sharing that information with the world. You know, right there. I think a lot of people needed to hear that, because a lot of the times people try to hide what they're struggling with or things that they've struggled with, and present a totally different picture to the world. And that does a disservice to a lot of people, because everybody has this fake illusory picture that they're painting to others that really doesn't exist. And so it takes a lot of strength and courage to even make those kind of statements that you just made. So hats off to you for that.
Wow, thank you.
No, definitely, that's huge. A lot of people out here are operating in fear, and so the big corporations, the government, the news and media, they know what fear can do to a person. That's why they pump fear. Everything is based off of fear. The military, the war machine, they pump fear. They always want you to make you afraid. I mean, you got to be afraid of this guy riding a camel, living in a $10 tent halfway around the world, so we can go out and kill him, using your money and resources and your children to go do it. You know, so fear makes you malleable. And so they know and understand that. And so once you understand that they're using it because they understand how much fear makes you malleable, that will tell you how powerful fear can be for the people who know how to wield it and control it. So you as a person, or anybody as a person that begins to experience fear, and we're all human, so we have to, this is something that we're going to encounter. The first thing I do is I like to step back, and I like to say, wait a minute, let me remove emotion from this situation. I remove emotion, because emotion is directly attached to this fear. And so once I step back and remove the emotion, and let me analyze this as if I was a Vulcan, okay? If you watch Star Trek, you know what a Vulcan is. We're talking about a being that's an advanced thinker that operates on logic only, right? So for all my Star Trek out there. Once you go in with the logic mindset, and you start analyzing the situation from a logical standpoint, with emotion completely set aside, now you can actually analyze it with a clear mind, because the emotion will cloud your mind. It'll make you your brain, your thinking patterns hectic and scattered. When in logic, it becomes organized and completely aligned. And then all of a sudden, you start to come up with great ideas to a solution to the problem, or how to fix it, or how to evade it, or how to get away from the situation. But so that right there, automatically coming up with solutions takes away fear. That's why I'm big on providing solutions and trying to find solutions. I didn't like what was on TV. Instead of whining and complaining about it all the time, I made my own TV network. I don't like what's on the radio. Instead of whining about it, I made my own music. If I don't like what's on, certain social media platforms, I made my own social media platform, providing solutions. But because I became, they took away one of my accounts on social media, a very big account. And so all of a sudden, the fear hit me. It hit me. And I was like, oh, shoot, what am I going to do? I stepped back and said, wait a minute. What am I going to do? Why am I even in this situation? Let me remove this fear aspect right now so I can sit down and think. Oh, okay, that's what this means. Wow. This is my wake-up call. I need to go ahead and create my platform. I need to start moving people into my own control environment. That way, nobody else can pull the rug from underneath me. But if I would have stayed in fear mode, panic, and crying and complaining to the whole world, look what they did to me, I would have never been able to focus enough to get my own platform built. You see?
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's powerful.
I love that.
It's powerful. And he works hard for it, believe me. Somebody just asked, where's a good place to get affirmation from? Tell them about your YouTube channel, because I know you have a lot of affirmation music and all that stuff on the YouTube channel. Tell them about that.
Yeah, you can go to my YouTube, The Forbidden Knowledge on YouTube. That's my channel. All my music is up there. I think I have about 120 songs in distribution. My number one song still is Affirmations.
Yes.
And so Affirmations by Forbidden Knowledge. It's a global phenomenon song. It's being played in countries all over. I think it hit the top 100 even in Brazil, which I was like, wow, in Brazil. So affirmations, and what I like about this particular one is I cover so many aspects of a person's life. It has something in there for every person. And if you start doing it every day, you start memorizing all these affirmations. So you begin to sing these affirmations, and as you're singing them, you're creating somatic frequencies that are directly affecting your physiology. So you're actually creating the reality through memorizing the words to the song affirmation. So it's a powerful song. I highly recommend. You can listen to it for free on YouTube. I'm also on Forbidden Knowledge Vivo. Forbidden Knowledge Vivo. I have my own Vivo now, and you can also get it on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, all the music platforms, Tidal, whatever, Deezer. I'm on all the music platforms. So just look for Affirmations by Forbidden Knowledge. To me, that's one of the best that I've ever done so far.
Wow. And people that are just tuning in, we're not going to keep him for long, though, because I know my brother could go in and keep on going, but he's a busy man. But I wanted to share something why it's very important. I mean, they're writing books like this, Operation Mind Control. You gotta that you can control your mind negatively towards the negative or towards the positive. It's totally up to you. This is a CIA book, a plot against the CIA, a plot against America. CIA is a plot against America, and I read these things so I can at least offset the negative that they're trying to throw at us. That's why I don't. If you look on any of my Instagrams and I don't put no negative stuff on my Instagrams, my Facebook, none of that stuff. Let other people do that. If that's what they want to do, that's their business. But I know I need to keep on promoting positive stuff every morning, every day to set that frequency on the next level. You know what I'm saying? If I want to continue to rise up to where Billy and others are, the great, of course, Reverend Ike and Eric Thomas and all the great ones, the Les Browns, I listen to all of them to keep me motivated. And that's what is very important, brother. And one thing I wanted to ask, Billy, when you leave this planet, what do you want your legacy and how do you want your legacy to say about Billy? What is it that you want the world to say about Billy when you leave this planet, brother?
I just want them to say that, this was a guy who literally dedicated, the majority of his life to trying to help people. And that's literally what I've done. Majority of my life has literally been done to help people. You can see that legacy behind me over my shoulder.
Yes.
And that's really what it's all about, the legacy that I'm trying to leave behind. And the legacy is unconditional love. My main thing is, besides leaving wealth and so forth behind for my future generations, but the main thing is how much did people recognize that the teachings that I've left behind. Why I taught about the ancient past is because I want people to understand where we made our mistakes back then so we can correct the future, and how unconditional love can override everything. If we all realize this very scientific fact that every electron that orbits an atom is conscious. And this, we know this through quantum physics, through a double slit experiment. So if we know that electrons are conscious and have the ability to make decisions based on whether they're being observed or not being observed, then we know that everything in the entire universe, in the third dimension at least, is conscious. Because why? Everything in the third dimension is made of atoms, including our bodies. And so if that's the case, you begin to realize I got to treat everything with respect and dignity. And I mean everything. This cell phone is made of conscious atoms. Man didn't make this cell phone. Well, all we did was we structured the atoms. We put them in a specific alignment to create this particular object. But it's not a man-made object. It's aligned atoms. A man aligned the atoms, but the atoms already existed. And the atoms were already conscious. So I respect this phone. I respect my computer. I respect my house. I respect my city. I respect a rock. Because everything is conscious. And when we get to that level, that's the legacy I really want to leave behind, is everybody understanding that everything is a part of you. There is no separation. Separation is an illusion. There's no difference between me here in Florida and you there in New York. That's actually an illusion. We're both plugged into the same energetic grid, and we're both different aspects of the same one consciousness. And when people can really grasp what I'm trying to say here, this whole world will be a complete heaven on earth.
Wow. Yes. Any more questions before we let our brother go, Empress Aisha, please?
There's so many things I want to ask. The one thing I want to ask you about is about meditation. That's one thing. And also there's another one I wanted to go back to, and it was about what you call it, projection visualization. That's what you call that one.
Remote
Say it again.
Remote viewing or astral projection?
Remote viewing. Remote viewing. When you do, can you tap into your own self when you do remote viewing and tap into to find out information about who you are or your purpose and things of that nature?
You can remote view your own Akashic record, which is what a lot of sages do and mystics can do. And what they're doing is they're tapping into not only yours, but even other people's Akashic records. See, every time you think, every thought that you think creates an electromagnetic wave. And an electromagnetic wave is actually a wave of light. We can't see it because we only see 1% of the light spectrum. But so every wave of light, it actually leaves out of your skull. It penetrates the skull out into space-time. And each wave of light that comes from conscious thought is encoded with digital information that you were thinking about. So your information of every thought you ever thunk is out there floating free through the universe right now. Just like I Love Lucy shows from 1960 are radio waves, still light waves, which are flowing out past our solar system right now. And if you were in a distant galaxy and can pick up that frequency, you can watch I Love Lucy because the information is still encoded on those waves of light. And so because of that, we know that every conscious thought that ever existed in the entire universe exists on this etherical plane with all the information attached to the waves of light. And so remote viewing allows you to tap into, through different techniques, into the Akashic field and to pull down information. If you become really adept, you can pull down information on yourself or and on others as well.
It's kind of like the X-Men, the Professor, what's his name?
Professor X.
Xavier.
Xavier, yes, it was Xavier.
Yeah. I binge watched that stuff because Bobby Hemmett said years ago, if you watch it and put yourself in it as the powers, because that's where they're getting a lot of this knowledge from what they're studying, because people don't realize they spend millions of dollars and it's all social engineering. It's former military. They got military bases they're working out of. They're paying $1 million to do this. So they obviously are studying ancient science. There's a book called Technologies of the Gods. Do you have that book? A Technology of the Gods?
I have it right here. That's right.
Yeah, me too. so I know, that Technology of the God is off the hook, the way they pinpoint a lot of stuff. But I know, Billy, we could go on for days with the information. I just want to thank you for being here. You was talking about meditation. Did you want to say anything about meditation real quick?
I do the meditation Mondays. I think meditation is a huge part of what made me successful. And I do manifestation meditations. I do gong meditations. I do kundalini meditations. I do Om meditations. And I teach these meditations Monday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If they text me, 954-245-0086.
It is.
Text you back the meditation Zoom link. It's free. Doesn't cost you any money. And every Monday morning at 6 a.m., we do different types of meditations. 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So some people have to wake up earlier. Some people are already up and even past that hour, depending on where they are in the world. But 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the sweet spot. We just did a Kundalini meditation about a week ago. And then last Monday, or this Monday just passed, we did a Gong meditation. And this meditation coming up this Monday is going to be a Merkaba meditation. Okay, so that's Meditation Monday. I just decided to take the gift that I've been able to master in meditation and let me start helping bring that to people. I figured on a Monday, get their week off to a great start. And people are really appreciative of the free meditations. So that'll be Monday morning. Text me, 954-245-0086, and I'll make that link to the Monday meditation.
It's right there. Give him a round of applause, family. Give him a round of applause. My brother, make sure you get the books, man. The Compendium of Endless Tablets, and of course, woke doesn't mean broke. My brother, Billy CARSON. When I said it's my brother, he's my brother. I
need that book right there. That's the book I need.
You need both of them.
Right? I need both of them, but that one. Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna make sure you get a copy. Don't worry.
okay, all right, okay, but Billy, I'll make sure I connect and get the information and I'll send it to her. Okay, but Billy, man, thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. I know I'm supposed to come on your show soon, so we working on that. We actually filmed, but we had to, do what we had to do.
Oh, man, but yeah.
I'm appreciative of you, brother. Appreciative of all your work. I've seen it up manifest, and once again, we want to everybody salute Billy Carson. He's a number 4, so everybody put 4 in the chat. Put 4 in the chat. 4 in the chat. Put 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 4 in the chat. My brother.
Thank you, man. You got good energy, man. I appreciate you. I love you, man.
Love you, man. Take care, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This has been a week. I appreciate it.
That was our brother, man. Oh man, that was a good show, man. That was and people were really enjoying it, man. Again, family, please go to his link tree. That link tree leads you to everything. Linktree leads you to everything. Linktree / Forbidden Knowledge. And of course, his IG at Forbidden Knowledge. Text him if you want to join that meditation circle for free. Absolutely free. I know I'm a part of it already. Y'all know how this is. I'm not playing with none of y'all. 954-245-0086. That's 954-245-0086. I used to call him while we was in Florida. And he was walking on the beach early in the morning. So after he does the meditation with y'all, or he might be on the beach doing the meditation while he's walking, but he's usually walking the beach for at least a good 3 to 5 miles and back. So he walk it 3.5 miles, I think 2.5 miles going, and then 2.5 miles back. I do 5 miles walk and breathing exercise, remote walking. He's doing that while he's either doing especially on Mondays, but I know he does that every day, that beach walk in Florida. And that brother is an amazing brother. We commend him. And remember, he's just like you and I. All we have to do, that's why Jesus used to say, that's why Jesus used to tell the disciples, look, greater faith you can have, greater power and greater things you could do, even with that faith of a mustard seed. You got the power. We got the power. You got the power. And I tell people in my Numerovation sessions, I mathematically see your powers in my sessions. But if you don't use the power, it will be dormant. It will be dormant if you don't use the power. Because numerology, or the numbers, like he would say that, numbers, universe is mathematics. So if the universe is mathematics and we're connected to these mathematics, why the hell don't you use your mathematics? All of us as astrologers and numerologists are just here to help you tap into it. We're not here to walk you with your hands and hold your hands. After we tap in, you're supposed to do the work. That's why woke doesn't mean broke. That's why he wrote the book, Emperor Talbots. That's why I wrote my books, because we got to keep on putting in this work. You got to work. You got to work. This ain't no microwave. I'm letting you know that. Stop with the microwave mentality. All the people that are successful didn't get there overnight. You didn't see the 20 years they put in, or the 10 years they put in, or the 15 years they put in. Kentucky Fried Chicken didn't become successful till he's in 60s. And all of you Negroes been cooking chicken for all your life, and Kentucky Fried Chicken made money from it. A European named Colonel. How'd that work? I don't know. Something wrong. So, but we need to change the mentality, family. And that's what it's all about. Once again, give Billy a round of applause, man. Yes. I gotta act like Stevie Wonder in this piece. Huh? I gotta act like Stevie Wonder, because even I can see it. Stevie can see it. Ray Charles seen it. Why y'all can't see it? I remember a friend of mine did a comedy skit called The Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder Driving School. Yo, that was the funniest skit I ever seen. As a matter of fact, it was Aton. Aton was here. Aton Edwards, when he was doing comedy back in the day. Him and his former wife, Kim Coles, the actor, they did a skit called The Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder Driving School. It was so funny. I gotta see if he'll post it and repost it for me. But they can see. That's why they made millions by doing the work. Imagine if Stevie Wonder, being born on May the 13th, didn't put in that work to make manifest, even while he was blind or had that impairment, that impaired sight. Suppose he didn't do the work and listen to his intuition, writing those great albums that he wrote, Inner Voice, Inner Sight, all the great stuff that he wrote. Imagine if Ray Charles, if you watch the movie of Ray Charles, my man knew the contract. He said, "Look, I can have my own masters, right? This is what I can do." Boom, 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 boom. And he negotiated his own deal. Even with sight, some of us are blinded, and that's a terrible thing.
That's so true. That's true.
Even with sight,
that's true.
Some of us are blind.
Yeah, some of us are blind. We blind ourselves.
That's right. This is a good book that Brother Planik recommended by D'Italian Jones. It's called Mind Control 101, How to Influence the Thoughts and Actions of Others Without Them Knowing or Caring. Brother Planik told me about this book. Very good book, powerful book, because it's all, remember, like this book says, all is mind. The universe is mental. All is mind, like the Kabbalion says. You think I don't have books? You think I be playing? You have to read the books. I just go like this. This is what I do. Because I got octopus hands. So, all is mind. That's what it says in this book. The first few pages, all is mind, and the mind and the universe is mental. It is real. All we have to do is clear our mind of the garbage, family. That's all we have to do. Oh, man. So once again, let's thank Billy Carson for that information, that energy. Let's do it again. Man, what doesn't mean broke. Of course, you can see us in that picture. You see me in his house in that picture, right behind where he was standing. That was his office where he was sitting. So you can see me in that in the picture there. So yeah, man, it's a beautiful house. He took me to the meditation room, showed me all around, showed me everywhere. His workout room, beautiful. He's the real deal. When I say security is tight, that's CIA security over there. I'm telling you, people ain't fooling me. So Empress, we're gonna see our growth. We're gonna all of us are gonna continue to grow just after this, because now this show is in the ethers. This show is in the ethers. Y'all know I don't come here with no drama and controversy and all that stuff. I don't do that. That's not my spirit. And that's definitely not Empress Aisha Moore. And if I know it's going to be controversy, I always tell Empress, I let her know this is going to be a controversial one. I think you should hold this one down, because I know her energy don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Remember, I told you that before. Remember with doing the other one there, interview back about the Book of Khalid. I didn't want to involve you in that just in case it got a little heated. But we was very cordial and we was very cool on that interview with Sister Shahrazad Ali. But it could have went there, because Sister Shahrazad Ali, she gonna hold her own, period. And that's what I love about the sister. You know what I'm saying? But moving right along, family, let's big up some of the sponsors. Let me let you know what's coming up, of course, before we shut down. We're about to shut down. Of course, this coming weekend, this coming Sunday, we're not doing anything tomorrow. Tomorrow's my mommy's birthday, my mother's 82nd birthday. So give her a round of applause.
Happy birthday, mommy. Yeah.
82nd birthday is tomorrow, April 21st. And we're going to be celebrating that. Today is Luther Vandross's birthday and Hitler's birthday, which is totally interesting to me. Woo! One who gave love and one who gave hate. This was very interesting, but that's how the 20s work. Sometimes that dynamic goes through the 20s, man. They go through. And today is her birthday, too. Jackie, that's right. Jackie Levine's birthday is today, too. Give her a round of applause. That she'll be on the show with us. Today is her birthday. Jackie, happy birthday. I know I hit her up on Instagram already. She's in say thank you. Yes. So happy birthday to Jackie. She's going to be on the show. She's an astronumerologist, educator, jazz songstress, and author of this beautiful book called Knocking from Inside. That's right. Let me put it over here. I got the book. Yeah, I got their books. You think I be playing? I get the people's books, show them love, support them, and make sure that's what a real journalist do. We have to get their books and support them in any way. And she'll be on with guests. Our guest for that evening will be our brother, Dr. Lloyd Strayhorn, the astronumerologist himself. That's what I call him, the doctor. And then coming up, closing out the month of April, we have Athena Juice, the one that only Soul Flow Doula, ever evolving and revolutionary practices of the doula. Those who want to become doulas, she do doula classes. Those who want to do midwifery, I have people that I can connect you with. I'm going to have a midwife on here soon. Dr. Africa used to teach midwife classes too to help out the sisters and how to understand it. But give this sister a round of applause. She'll be here on next week, Wednesday. Yes, so I can't wait to have her on. And of course, let's go to your products, my beautiful sister. Explain your products. Tell the world about your products, my dear. Go ahead.
Dear sisters, get your floral earrings. I just feel like, you know what, my sisters, y'all will be in love. Y'all will see an expression of yourselves that we just don't normally see. And then you will also see that the people around you will actually be touched. I noticed that, like I said that before. Yep. People are touched when you wear the earrings that I create. It's like mother energy, it's feminine energy and it's loving energy. So, connect with me. Next month is the best month to connect with me. This month has been a little bit challenging, but definitely connect with me. And you can connect with me this month on my Instagram at 1,000,000 adornments, and it's 1,000,000_adornments. And you can connect with me this month and just put an order in, and then by next month I would definitely send out the orders. But just work with me here.
And she got those email. Her email is there, Empress Aisha Moore. Yes, that's right. And her Cash App, Empress Amore. Yeah, please show her some love, of course, for all her creations. Yes. Like she says, yes.
Yes. Yeah. It's not like right now I really don't have I agree with just doing it organically, just doing it naturally, and just connecting with y'all one-on-one. So that's why I prefer to do it through Instagram versus doing it on what you call that, a .com.
Right.
Actual business page, because I feel like I love to be connecting with my sisters, because this is about building a community, building us up together. So when we connect, we network, and we just share the love and share knowledge, and just, you have a business, I will support you, let me know, and then, vice versa. So that's how we do it. That's how I do it.
Yeah, well, do what you got to do, sister. Whatever works for you, But like I wrote the book, no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell your name right. That's it. Please support the sister and show her love, and hit her up on the DM, of course. If you want to get my books, all 4 of them are available. Matter of fact, I have 2 of the No Promotion is Bad Promotion with me hardcover, and I have 4 hardcovers right now that if you want to order that, you got to DM me or hit me up on my my Instagram, or you can actually text me if you want to order the book, a signed copy. If you want to text me, you can sign. I'll give you a signed copy, and that will, of course, it will cost, of course. And then you can, I will mail it out to you. I will pay for the shipping and handling if I have to, but I won't charge. I'll charge it one price. Of course, we know it's $40 for the hardcover, and then of course $30 for the soft cover. So if you want to order it with a signature on it, you can order at least the first one. No Promotion is Bad Promotion, or Numerovation for Mental Stability. Those are the ones I have in stock. I only have 2 of the No Promotion is Bad Promotion, and I have 4 of the Numerovation for Mental Stability right now, and you can sign them. Big up to my friend Mercedes, who bought 5 books from me the other day, and actually I sent them out to her because I had a lot. I had like 10 left, and she bought 5 from me the other day. Mercedes, she lives up in the Boogie Down Bronx, big part of the comedy world back in the day when I was working with them in the comedy. So enough respect to Mercedes. I want to order this Dr. Africa t-shirt, please. First and foremost, please support him on his website. And also, please go to his Cash App, his wife's Cash App, Charles Child. That's $ Charles Child. But the teesprings.com below, that's all the way on the bottom, teesprings.com/Dr. Africa Salute. You can definitely go and get these t-shirts, beautiful t-shirts. Enough t-shirt. I got to get you one, my dear, but it's a beautiful t-shirt, and make sure you get one. I do have extras myself, but please go to t-shirt to order. And of course, my son here. Big up to my son. Big up to his music. I can't wait till he send me some new music. Boom, he got something great coming up, some great music coming up. And you can hit him up on all platforms and check his music on the link below there. That's his link right there. Also, make sure you support this real estate entrepreneur and salesperson and consultant, 347-866-1153. That's 866-1153. Hit her up. Also, Lloyd Strayhorn, of course, we'll be having him on. He'll be on Sunday with Jackie Levine. And that's the world-renowned astronumerologist, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Hit him up, enroll in his classes, take his classes. He has over 2,000 students already in multiple countries and speaking multiple language. They actually translate it to different language if you want to learn the numerology system, which is very interesting to me. Also, my class will not be translated. It's going to be English straight through until I put it up on one of those platforms, Udemy or Teachable. But this class is going to be coming up soon. So look out for that and hit me up on the email that you see on this flyer. Only on this email. I'm going to be sending out a communicate very soon. And also, pedalwise.com. My beautiful people at Pedalwise. Make sure you support them. I know Pedalwise got some great stuff for women's fibroid tumors, womb sweep, breast tumors, all that. They help to reverse the effects of certain things. So please support them, show them love, and use the coupon code as you see right there on the bottom there. Pedalwise.com. Use the 10% off coupon code KING2021. That's KING2021, and you'll get a discount. Any amount of stuff that you buy, please show them some love. And if you want to do a numerovation session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And if you live outside of the United States, let me repeat it again. If you live outside of the United States, use WhatsApp. And that's, of course, WhatsApp. Please show me love. And also, you can pay via PayPal. That's the big thing. And let me see. Did we big up our other person last but not least? The one, the only Better Health Shop. Big up to Better Health Shop. Make sure you support them. Hit them up at Etsy. And you can put your stuff on Etsy. You never decided to put your stuff on Etsy, Etsy, Aisha? Aisha, you're muted. Aisha, you're muted.
Yes, I did think about it, and I did not realize right now I'd rather do it the way I'm doing it. It just feels more. I don't want a middleman.
Okay. I guess they take money, huh? They taking money, huh?
Money, and it's some pros and cons. And right now, I just want to deal with my sisters one-on-one.
Okay,
no. And my brothers, if they also would like to purchase for their beautiful, women in their lives.
That's right. So yes, but big up to Better Health, of course, Health Shop doing Etsy at /shop and Better Health. Make sure you support that sponsor there. And last but not least, content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guests, speakers, or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Yes. And we're going to close out with our prayer. You ready for the prayer, sister? You praying?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. First, we're going to shout out Dr. Delbert Blair, of course. The prayer that we're about to share with you is from Dr. Delbert Blair for the council for continuous support of Dr. Blair's legacy. Please go to his official website. That's www.themethacenter2.com. The Methacenter2, the number 2.com for his books, ELF detectors, Faraday cage technology, magnet technology, products, and much more. Dr. Blair has been an extraordinary energy and soul in this world for 80-something years, and I respect him immensely. And of course, I was the last to bring him into New York, and that's just what it is. That's what I do. Like Dr. Africa, I was the last to bring him into New York. Dr. Africa. I wasn't the last to bring Dr. Sabi, but I was one of the last MCs of Dr. Sabi in New York City when Mr. G brought him in. So I helped him out to help out. And man, I just been getting all these doctors in line. You know, I've just been all these guys. I've just been the last to do certain things with them. So man, this is something else. Somebody said to me, I'm going to be a dope elder one day. I'll be telling all these stories. One of them dope elders. So big up to Tad. He's the one that said it. Tad Cromwell, the personal trainer. So, all right. So we're going to close out with these prayers right now. It's 11:09. Should we wait till 11:11? Should we wait till 11:11? And close out this prayer? Yeah, let's wait till 11:11. Let's get this vortex open, because 11:11 is that spiritual vortex. That's open, and that's that number 2 energy with the 1 and 1, 1 and 1. That's 2, 2. So you're a 2 energy. So I want to make sure that 11:11 energy is on point with you, my sister, and on point with the whole family. 11:11. If you do see 11:11 over and over again, just remember, family, that 11:11 is like a doorway. And doors shut and doors open. Pay attention. Doors can shut and doors will open. So if you're constantly seeing 11:11, 11:11 adds up to a 22, and 22 is that master number of healing, but also it's a master number of an architectural building from inside out. And the 11 by itself represents the spiritual teachers, but the recognizing the spiritual teacher from within and bringing it out to the world. So each one of those master numbers represents the spiritual internal use and then the external things that you're supposed to do. So if you see 333 or 33, that master number 33, that's the healers and teacher from within, and then you bring it outside of you. It's very important that you understand that there's an inner world and an outer world. There's a positive and a negative, a up and down, a low and high. So if you don't recognize all that in the number system or the interpretation of numbers, then you are falling short of the glory of the God within you, because we are all gods having a human experience. My people said, give me a round of applause. Okay, I'll give myself a round of applause. Hey, thank you. I'm paying them, so they know the deal. It's all about the payer. I'm having fun, girl. You ready? Here we go. It is now 11:11. Let's do the prayer. Let's get it out. Let's do it. Take a deep breath. Come on, people. Let's do it. Go ahead, Empress.
Hey, everyone. Here we go. Deep breath in. And exhale. Please give thanks, everyone. Please, Universal Creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now.
Say it one more time for that number 2 energy. Go ahead.
Here we go, everyone. Please, Universal Creator, know in our hearts that we love you. Please protect us and this planet on which we live now. Please open our minds, our spirits, and our souls to receive only truth in your love now.
I see you. Right there, we finished. It's 11:12. So we did it. Hey, I like that. That was real good. I like that. Thank you very much, Aisha.
Yes, we gave it dua.
Thank you, Aisha. Spice it up. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you very much. Everybody give Aisha a round of applause. Give her those number 2 in the chat. She's born on the 2nd, so give her those number 2s in the chat. Give the number 2 to Aisha.
Yes, much love to you all. Much love to Billy Carson. Much love to you, Brother King Simon.
Much love to you, sister. I love you. You be safe.
Most of all, give thanks.
All right. Love the most high. And I'll see you on Sunday, definitely with of course Jackie Levine and Lloyd Strayhorn, okay?
Yes.
All right, my beautiful. Take care, my dear. All right?
Thank you.
Bye-bye. That's it. That's our beautiful sister. crossover family. Yeah, want to thank each one and everyone that came in. Want to thank Aton Edwards who asked one of those questions. Dooley, big up to Dooley. Big up to Modesty Blaze, aka Susie Q, aka Shireen. Big up to Crystal and all you that came in the chat. Big up to all of y'all that came in the chat. Thank you all for passing through. Charlatan, big up to you all the time. Natural Emoja, big up to you. Black Ace, big up to you. Lessons learned, big up to you. Supreme Knowledge, big up to you. Billy Carson, of course, we got to big him up. Antonio, big up to you, sir. And big up to everybody that was in the chat from the very beginning. Natalia, Renee, Nikki Love, all of you that was here. Thank you very much for being a part of the travels, the journey. Renee Jackson, big up to you. James Earl, big up to you. Big up to all of you. I'm a number one, so y'all put the number ones in the chat. If you enjoyed the show, if you support, if you love what we do, please support us on Super Chat. Not Super Chat. Put us a chat. Of course, go to my Cash App. Support us at Cash App right there. Please do not do Super Chat. Do Cash App. Please support us by Cash App. That's $ King Simon 3158. That's $ King Simon 3158. $ King Simon 3158. Again, share the video, thumb up the video, like, thumb up the video, share the video. Sharing is caring, family. Sharing is caring, I'm telling you. Once again, go to forbiddenknowledge.com and Forbidden Knowledge TV with my brother, the one, the only Billy Carson, all right? I'm out of here, family. I'm going to take a step to the rear and get the heck out of here like Frankie Crocker used to say. Up you mighty nation, you can accomplish what you will, like Marcus Garvey says. And like the late, great Dr. Khalid Muhammad used to say, family, regardless of land, label, or language, there is but one creator that resides within you and that lives through you. So stay strong. Peace!
King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovation. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Number are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.